guys, what's up? Killjoy Jake here, and instead of having friends, I have the third coming of Leatherface, Yet again, Leatherface is being rebooted into another film coming out sometime next year. Gee, what do I even say about that? Well, before we get into it, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more horror content. Now, let's get into this. So yet again, we have another Texas Chainsaw Massacre reboot coming. As you may know, there was one in the early thousands that actually got a sequel, and then yet again in 2013 that also got a crappy sequel. So we're doing it again. All right. I guess there is a high demand for these films. I love the first two movies. I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre is an absolute masterpiece of a film, and I think the second film is a masterpiece of a horror comedy. They're both very different films, and I love both of them kind of equally. I don't know if I could say I like one or the other better just because they're so different from each other. So Fede Alvarez is the guy that's kind of the creative force of this new trilogy of Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, and if you don't know who that is, he's the guy that did the Evil Dead remake, which I personally really liked. I know it wasn't well received by Evil Dead fans, but I thought it was pretty fantastic, pretty gory, pretty disgusting. I loved it. But unfortunately, he will not be directing this film. Ryan and Andy Tohill are actually going to be directing this film. And if you don't know even who the hell they are, I had to look it up myself. They're the guys that did that crazy psychological thriller a couple years ago called The Dig. I've never seen it, but it has really good Rotten Tomatoes scores. We all know we can always trust Rotten Tomatoes for good movie reviews. Right? So I guess if they take this film in a new direction, maybe a psychological thriller rather than an exploitation film, I don't know, maybe they could make it new again. I really don't see how they could do this any different than all the other incarnations of this film series. Alvarez highly recommends these guys though, saying the Tohill's vision is exactly what the fans want. It's violent, exciting, and so depraved that it will stay with you forever. That's some high praise there, brother. I have no idea how they're gonna make something that's gonna stick with me forever, just like that first film. But hey, if Alvarez says that they can, I believe him, man. I mean, he's the guy behind Evil Dead remake and Don't Breathe, and both of those films have a scene that has stuck with me. The turkey baster from Don't Breathe, that scene still bothers me. So surprise, surprise, this movie is going to be a direct sequel to the original. But wait a minute. Haven't they already done that? They have. And it was terrible. The 2013 film Texas Chainsaw 3D, that was actually supposed to be a direct sequel to the original film, but it just kind of flopped. Nobody was a huge fan of that one. Now, I like the concept and the structure of that film. It was more of like some kind of like an 80s slasher, kind of like Friday the 13th, but with Leatherface, which is kind of not what those films are as a whole. They're more exploitation films rather than slasher films. So I thought that was kind of an interesting approach to it. It just wasn't done well. If they can do that as a psychological thriller slasher kind of mix, I think that'd be kind of interesting. That'd be a little different. That'd be a new way to take this series. Have some teens go in there and then Leatherface fuck with their heads a little bit, like make them go a little crazy or something instead of just chopping them up. Maybe Leatherface makes one of the other kids watch another one get cut in half or something. Now, see, that would be kind of messed up. And the Leatherface has new motives, you know? He actually has motives instead of just cutting people up and eating them for dinner. So gotta make it new, people. After what Alvarez said, I am very intrigued to see what the Tohills do with this film. As long as it's not Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4, that crappy one with Matthew McConaughey, well, then it's gonna be better than that. And a whole lot of things are better than that, let me just tell you what. Thank you so much for watching my video on the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre, probably coming out in 2021. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more horror content. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at KilljoyJake1. Send me some requests if you have anything you want me to cover or talk about. I'll probably do it. And as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.